If you're fat, I'm giving you permission right now to drop everything else and go after getting lean. Getting lean is one of the biggest advantages, the biggest leverages you could have. A lot of people think it is superficial to focus on your looks, but it is the foundation that will spill into everything else. And just because it is deemed superficial does not make it easy to achieve. It is something so valuable because the whole world shames you as you go after it. But at the same time, it is so scarce and it is such a clear representation of capability and competence that people subconsciously understand that it is something that is to be respected. And when you look at somebody who is jacked, whether you like it or not, whether you want to reject it or not, whether you find it to be superficial and shallow or not, the way you speak to that person is going to be filled with respect, it's going to be filled with politeness, just because you know he is capable. Just because there's a thought in your brain that if this person is capable of putting that many things aside, making that many sacrifices in order to get this physique, whether it is shallow or superficial or egotistical reasons, whether he's a narcissist or not, you somewhat fear him, you somewhat have respect for him, because you just understand how invaluable having a physique like that is. Right? It is not easy at all. And it is something that will teach you so many things about yourself, because while getting lean, getting good looking is very simple, it is far from easy. Having the whole world shame you as you go about this, having the whole world making it more difficult for you by offering you sweets, offering you unhealthy food, your own family making sure that you don't get enough protein, making sure that you're not overtraining, and always asking you like, it's okay to eat nonsense once in a while. It's actually unhealthy to be super healthy around your diet and things like that. People will say all these kinds of things when you're leaning down, especially when they start seeing you make progress. But dude, this is one of the things that will change your life completely, teach you so many things about yourself. And because of the sheer amount of positive feedback you receive back from the world, just because of how much capability you're presenting from your physique itself, you find that your self-esteem improves, your confidence improves, your luck with women improves, your success in every area, your social standing, it all goes up, and you feel fucking amazing every single day because you look in the mirror knowing you are getting better and better and better and dedicating yourself to a purpose like that. Holy shit, there's nothing more attractive than that. Once you start to obsess over your physique, you don't get heartbroken anymore. You don't get super stressed anymore. You don't get nihilistic and start to wonder about the purpose of life and how meaningless life is anymore, because you have something to dedicate yourself towards, and you have something that is constantly bringing you positive benefits as the days go past. Look at that. And you get to eat like that. Absolutely delicious. Focusing your capacity and your energy into getting lean drops importance for everything else. And through that, because everything else is kind of less important to you now, as you have a main goal that you're pursuing, you start to make decisions that aren't filled by doubt in other areas, in relationships, and whatever it is that you're dealing with. Stress and problems that you deal with day-to-day life becomes something that you just mindlessly accept and go through, because you have a main goal in mind, and you have the main tasks that you want to do, and random day-to-day problems are just not going to face you. Holy shit. I used to be really, really fat, like 107 kg. And the amount of problems it solves by just having stature, by just showing that you're competent through your physique, even though I haven't achieved anything yet, I'm treated with respect everywhere I go by almost everybody. And besides that, the experience you have with women completely changes. You have a reason to be desired now. And I first realized this in my first year or two of training, where I first reached like 16 to 18% body fat around there, which is still kind of considered quite fat in today's standard. But I was really, really fat, around 25% to 30% body fat. And when I reached that stage of somewhat being lean, of being like slightly better than an average human being, for the first time in forever, the first girl I ever spoke to, I've never experienced this before at that time, but she would literally take pictures of my Instagram, send it to me, and send voice memos of herself telling me how much she wanted me. And she would drunk voice memo me all the time. And of course, this was kind of odd to me because I was a very, well-behaved, sheltered little boy. This is the first time I ever experienced something like that. But in my head, I knew, I worked for this. I low-key kind of deserve this. But hey, this is the kind of things that changes. You have less relationship problems. You have less social status problems. You have less problems with your family. You have less problems with everything because people just respect the amount of work and discipline, vision that you had to carry out this task. And this is not something ridiculously hard to achieve. You can absolutely get a shit ton of results in just a month alone. You can look like a different person. Especially if you've been living unhealthy your whole life, the sheer amount of debloat you'll have from your first week of aggressive cutting will already make so much progress for you. And after a month, holy shit. And after 2 months, holy shit. And getting lean is a compounding effect. You'll only look better and better and better and better. So you get addicted to the process. You realize how simple it is. It's as simple as getting 10 to 20k steps daily, drinking a fuck ton of water, strength training and getting stronger every time you step into the gym, and just eating less nonsense and eating more good stuff. And at the start, you don't even need to make a complete change. At the start, you can focus on the very basic, the very fundamentals, like just cutting out processed sugar, cutting out processed foods, cutting out fried foods to start. Like just something like a diet with 0 fried things. And then you can eat whatever the fuck you want. And you realize that you still lose weight. Or a diet with 0 sugar drinks. Just always have Coke Zero and then eat whatever the fuck you want. And then you realize that as you make small changes, you're more comfortable to make other small changes. And eventually, you'll be doing all the right things. And eventually, you will inevitably have the physique that you want. Just making progress itself, the effect of that will spill into the rest of your life. And the second you get some success, that's where it gets difficult, honestly. Because that's where you have to go, do I want to keep doing this? Is it worth it to continue? Is it worth it to see what's on the other side by continuing to improve? Or do I want to be complacent and kind of just sit here and take, whatever it is that I already have? You got this, man. If you're fat, unhealthy, and unsatisfied with your life, drop everything and get lean first. Because it will probably kickstart yourself solving all the problems. Solving every single problem. It is so high leverage. Oh my god. Get lean first, man. The life on the other side is absolutely ridiculous. Come join me. Come join the boys. Get under 15% body fat and you're golden. You're just golden. I'll see you.